So yeah, I hope everyone is doing well on today, tonight, wherever you may be, or whatever. So today we're gonna be talking about the show Love After Lockup. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it, you guys. Now, I started watching this show last week, but I had it on my what is it called? I had it on my watch later on Peacock for a while actually, but I started watching it last week, and yeah, I am not disappointed by this show so far at all. I'm currently on season 2, episode 23, and I must admit I'm very hooked to this show so far. So I wrote me down some notes, yeah, because I do not want to forget nothing at all. So we're gonna cover everything that I want to talk about. See, I think I really need to start doing like shorts and stuff as I'm watching the show, for just in case I want to add on more. Because yeah, during the whole show, I stay having something to say about it. But yeah, let's get into it though, because I don't want to be rambling too much. So I had wrote a question down. I was like, is it possible to be in love with a prisoner? Absolutely. Now, hypothetically, what I do with it. Let's say I wasn't married. Let's take all that off the table. Absolutely not. Because for me, like my take and my opinion on that is prisoners, I feel like, not saying this in every case though. I'm just going off of what I've seen, experienced, all of that. Prisoners, they have like nothing but time on their hands. So, of course, they're going to tell you anything that you want to hear. Like anything that sounds good. Because most of the time, it's more or less about getting some money on them books. And then when they get out of prison, they going to need somewhere to lay their head at. So, who's going to be responsible for that? You are. But then how I also see it is they've been incarcerated for all that time. So no doubt they're going to want to get out and party and stuff. So you might think they want to sit there and be laid up and booed up with you. But no, they want to get out and have some fun. And then after they feel like they got everything they did out of you or could out of you, they finna be ready to get on down, y'all. Like, that's what I just be saying, or like been saying the whole time. I just been watching this show. Like, they gonna use you until they can't use you no more. And like I said, disclaimer, I don't mean everybody, but I'm just saying for the most part. Cause this show, like to me, like so far, this show is really showing me that, hey, I'm actually pretty correct about some of these cases. Now in this show, like there were certain like relationships that really stood out to me more than others. Now, one that stood out to me was, we got a Mormon or whatever. She's living in Utah with her 3 children. She is dating this gangster. I guess you want to call him a gangster. They call him a Crip or whatever. He's living in California. He's been incarcerated for 18 years, I believe. And mind you, she only has one friend who knows about the fact that he's a prisoner. Her other Mormon friends don't know nothing about that. And she felt so offended, child, when it came out that he's a prisoner, because she felt like they were judging her, and she wanted to give this man a second chance. And like I always say, to each his own. Go ahead, sister. And like her 2 older children, understandably so, they weren't really with it initially. Her baby girl, now she was with it, because y'all know sometimes like little kids, they don't be knowing no better. Like she sitting up here calling him daddy and everything. Like I said, she don't know no better. But the son, he eventually like came around after they ended up meeting up with the guy. Now that was after his release and stuff, of course. Now her daughter, she really wasn't a fan of him. And like I said, to me, it's like very understandable. Like, y'all don't know this dude. Like, who is he? Who is he? Like, for me, I probably wouldn't be able to like take it serious either. I'm not even gonna hold you. I doubt that I'll take that serious too. But eventually, the daughter, she ended up coming around as well. And then they ended up getting married at some point. Y'all tell me how come she was in there getting her hair done and she was waiting around for some shoes. Y'all, she was 4 hours late for like her own wedding. Mind you, like the venue was like just within like the next room. So they're like right here getting her ready and stuff. But she was like 4 hours late for like her own ceremony. I was like, okay. But they ended up getting married. And then y'all, at some point after the fact, he ended up going back to prison. I'm not even gonna lie, I forgot exactly for how long he was back in prison, but he ended up going back to prison. I was like, come on now, sir. And then I do feel the children as well, because they already wasn't really feeling him at first anyway. And then just for him to come along and like disappoint them, that really didn't make it no better. Because her daughter was talking about getting his last name. More or less like adoption type stuff. Just for him to turn around and like disappoint them. Or him to disappoint them. And then he ended up getting out, because like, yeah, we're in season 2 now. Yeah, but like he ended up getting out and stuff again. Now he wants to be around his family and all that stuff. And she wants him to be inside with her. Now, in that case, I can really see like both sides of things, because you've been away for all this time. Like, you want to hang out with your folks sometimes, you know. Then they do like different things, because like I mentioned, like, yeah, she's a Mormon and he drinks and stuff. So, you know, with her, she doesn't drink and stuff. You know, like they smoke, all that good stuff, party, all that. But she don't do that because she's Mormon. My thing is, you can't come along feeling like you could try to change someone's way of doing things or religion. Just because you're Mormon, that doesn't automatically mean I'm going to convert because you're that. That's you. And it's not like you didn't know I was already not down with that, if that makes sense. But yeah, I said more than I thought I was going to say. Okay. His next relationship, he sent her over $90K, y'all. It's wild. And then it was even known in the beginning by her. She told him and like made it known that he was one of her tricks. That's what she called it. And overall, for men as a total, she said she got over $800K just from sending like pictures and stuff. Basically like using people. But you do have some people out there who will do stuff like that. I'm like, y'all do realize that corn, like, do y'all follow me? Y'all do realize that corn and stuff is free. So you mean to tell me, I don't want to sound like this, but y'all do realize, like, y'all messed around with like this dusty prisoner when y'all could go over here and do this. I'm not trying to sound mean or nothing. But yeah, out here trying to like get pictures and stuff from a prisoner, like, y'all can get this stuff free, you know. But her daughter, she really wasn't a fan of him because she felt like he was enabling her mother, which is understandable, to be honest. But then when the whole day ends, she's also a grown woman as well. Like, you can enable somebody, I get it, but you can't fully put the blame on him because she's still a grown woman. She made a conscious decision. Well, maybe it wasn't conscious. I'm not really sure. But yeah, but the daughter really wasn't feeling her at all. Or him at all. So then eventually, the dude ended up going broke. Because mind you, like I was saying, he spent $90K on her. So yeah, he basically went broke because of her. He went in debt, all that. And she made it known in one scene that, hey, if you ain't got no money, ain't nothing you can do for me. Then he eventually had came clean about it, and she broke things off with and tried to like be a friend, try to build a friendship. Like, I'd be upset too though. I spent all my time, my money, I'm investing in you just for you to want to be friends now. Girl, bye. But at the same time, I still fought him because of the fact, like, you knew this though. You knew this, but his esteem and stuff is like not, or like wasn't high enough. So of course, he's probably gonna fall for anything or whatever. And then like now in season 2, like later on, I forgot what episode it was, but she ended up driving out to Cali and stuff. His best friend like lives with him or whatever, and she really felt some kind of way about that or whatever, y'all. Okay, y'all, so we're back. Y'all know how it is sometimes. Y'all got like noisy neighbors and stuff, but we ain't gonna let that stop the video. So let's get right back into it though. But basically, we had stopped off where I was saying that his best friend had been living with him for a while, and the ex, she felt some kind of way about that. Like, girl, she's more loyal to him than you could ever be. And then on top of that, he had started seeing this other woman, but they just became friends or whatever, because that's all they really seen for each other, like just being friends. And she came in there and slapped the mess out of him. That's what the ex-felon did, or the felon had did. She slapped him, talking about, or like accused him of cheating on her. But she had gone on dates too though, so what's the problem, you know? And that's what I'm trying to figure out, like, why you so upset about that? But then they end up going on like a date to the beach and stuff. He gave her like another ring. Did I tell y'all that? I think I told y'all that he had proposed to her. I think a day or two after she got out, he had proposed to her and stuff. And her answer was yes, maybe. I'm like, sir, get off your knees. She's telling you she don't want to be with you. So what are you doing? But at the same time, like I said, his esteem just wasn't that high. So of course, he'll just go for anything. So, but yeah, back to where we're at now though. At the beach, he ended up giving her another ring. He said he had got it for her though like months ago, but he didn't know how to mail it out to her. And it was like another ring, y'all. Then she was trying to figure out like why is he so adamant about giving her a ring. So she threw the ring, or he threw the ring into the ocean. But like they ended up finding the ring though. It wasn't really too far out or nothing. I was finna say though, cause he already in debt. Then he out here getting out all these loans and stuff for this expensive stuff for her. Just to end up tossing it out. Man, please. Let's move on to this other relationship. Yeah, this one right here is one of the craziest ones now. So we got this one dude where he got this baby mama, right? And he got this girlfriend. The girlfriend, she came in talking about, oh, they're engaged and stuff. Then on the other side, they got the baby mama talking about, basically, they're already married. We came to find out like a few episodes in on the first season. That's first season or second season. One of them seasons though, at the beginning though, we found out that they actually got married in prison. So they got married in October 2017, but he got engaged over the phone with his girlfriend in December of 2017. How do you do that though? But his excuse was he's trying to hold things together for his daughter. Like, come on now, sir. That's not how you do things. But like I said, when you in prison and stuff, you can make stuff sound so good because you ain't got nothing but time on your hands. Okay, then like now we like gonna fast forward to like his release day. So the wife, the one that has his daughter, see like the girlfriend, she's convinced she's just the girlfriend. Like so like she know he has a daughter and stuff. She's just like not sure, or she doesn't know that they're actually married. But back to what I was saying. The release day, the wife is gonna go pick him up. The girlfriend think that she's gonna go pick him up, so she about to get on the flight and stuff. But at the airport, he ended up calling her, like letting her know that, hey, I have other plans for us. Basically trying to make it seem like it was like a surprise or whatever. But his reason for doing that was because the baby mama, aka the wife, was already coming over to pick him up. So he knew that both of them couldn't do it. So he had to do what he had to do. He made it seem like it was like just like a surprise that he had for her. So that's how things like just work. Then later on, they actually ended up finding out about each other. Now that was after he ended up becoming incarcerated again, because he was 10 minutes late to like his parole meeting while he was with the girlfriend / like the side chick. And I also want to say that she actually gave her virginity up to this guy, not knowing he was married, y'all. That he like just had relations with the wife. Like, come on. Now I would have felt some kind of way though too, yeah. I ain't even gonna hold you. You giving yourself to this person just to later find out he's married. And they found out because like after he was incarcerated or whatever, his phone had to be turned over to like his parole officer. And then according to the wife, the parole officer wanted to be woman to woman with her and talk to her that, hey, we found some things in his phone. And that's how the wife found out about the girlfriend. So she ended up coming up to the hotel and stuff, and they ended up talking about it and stuff. Of course, being hostile, but of course the wife was like a little more hostile than the girlfriend. But I really felt the girlfriend, because you don't come at me feel like acting no sort of way and think I'm gonna respect you. Like, respect goes both ways. But in the end, they end up talking things out. Then at the end of that, they made it seem as if, or both of them, the girlfriend and the wife, made it seem like they were both gonna cut him off. Y'all already know what had happened, because right now we still season 2. Episode 23, he's still dealing with both of them, y'all. As we speak, he's still dealing with both of these females. But I am curious to see like what's gonna happen next and all of that. And also, it was a case where the wife Well, she ended up being pregnant again. She ended up being pregnant again. Like, now I'm at the rate where, or at the episode where she actually had the child and stuff. And the girlfriend, she ended up kissing his homeboy. Because she was like already going through it. And she said that he ended up kissing her while she was crying and stuff. Then the dude, he felt some kind of way about it. But I found that kind of strange, because how can you call somebody a snake or being sneaky, but you have a whole wife over here and you got a girlfriend over here, and there ain't no telling how many more you got? Like, come on now, sir. But y'all, we got like so many other cases and stuff, but those were the ones that like stood out to me like the most. You know, it was like this other situation where one of them was on, can I say this on here? Or she was on rack. I'm pretty sure y'all understand where I'm coming from. She was on rack or whatever. So the mother really wasn't like a fan of her. So what it was, with like this situation, he ended up proposing to her on the night of her release. And they were like finna get married on the day after, like the night after. She ended up being late, so he thought she wasn't even gonna come. But she ended up coming though, y'all. She was late, but she came. And then after all that, it was like 10 hours later, I believe. And she ended up getting on down, y'all. She had to go out there and get her fix. But like, of course, he felt some kind of way. Like she took his phone, the rental car. And he told us he had to pay $21,000 for the car, all that. And y'all, she ended up getting locked back up. I was like, okay. And then she got released and stuff. He haven't heard from her. Then he had found out that she was in jail, and then she got released, like I said, and then she ended up going back to jail. And guess who she ended up calling, y'all? The same person she ended up leaving behind, y'all. She got on down for that fix. And that's one thing too, though, like I be saying as well about prisons as well. I'm not saying everybody be on this kind of time, but it's like they'll take what they can from you, and like I said, just get on down like it's nothing. They can easily like just do that. But back to what I was saying about this couple though. What else had happened? So yeah, she ended up getting out parole and stuff. Then the mom, I really felt her. The mom didn't trust this woman because she ended up breaking up with him over the phone and stuff, like her son. Like, she ended up breaking up with him and stuff. And then like the mother seen how much she had hurt her son and stuff. So she really wasn't trying to have this woman around. But it's like they were trying to like force her to meet his girlfriend or wife, but the mom really wasn't down with that, because I understand exactly like where she was coming from, because I have boundaries though. Like, I don't have to have someone around me just because you want them to be around me. That's not how things work. Yeah, I know I said more than I thought I was gonna say on here, but really I want to say even more, because yeah, when this show be going on, I be tuned in. But I'm probably gonna start doing some shorts and stuff so y'all can see what I'm feeling in that moment, like as I'm watching the show. But comment down below and like let me know how you all feel about this video, and also let me know what you all want to see me do next, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Take care.